So I wanted to make a video like this for a while. I know, I keep saying that. I know, it's to the point where even I'm getting sick and tired of saying that. But this is something that I actually don't remember if I made before, so pardon my unintentional repeating if I made a video like this before. I'll have to go through my video history to make sure, because I really cannot remember. But I thought I'd make an appreciation video for the original Simon. I've explained this before, but for those who missed when I elaborate on this, I'm not sure if I can get it to show up without it falling flat on the ground. Oh no, there we go. Let's see, where is it? Hold on. The other way. Let's see, where is it? I think it's in the corner. Oh, it's upside down. I forgot about that. The way that they actually put the game together, like the bottom half is upside down for some reason. But where is it? 1978. I will elaborate on this actually. This is a reissue, and the original Simon. Actually is not. The original Simon, the layout is not the traditional layout that we're used to seeing today. I think it was these two were like this, and these two were like this. I can't remember verbatim. I was going to put it as a thumbnail, but that'd be clickbaity and misleading, and I don't want to do that. So I can also explain that the sound font was also different. It wasn't just the arrangement of the buttons, the lenses, if you prefer. And the logo, from what I remember, was also different. Like, not drastically different, like, compared to this. This is also the modern Simon logo. Well, yes and no. I really want to get my other Simon games ready for this, but that'd be very convoluted. I might do that in... No, actually, I already did that, the evolution of Simon thing. Well, I kind of elaborate on that, I think. I can't remember. But this is more or less an elaboration. This is an appreciation video for Simon. Good lord, I cannot speak sometimes. And I've explained that before, too. Before anyone says that I don't know what I'm saying or whatever. It's just like a stuttering issue. I've always had this problem. But, enough rambling. Simon. Originally released in 1978, invented by Ralph H. Baer. Birth name, Rudolf Heinrich Baer. Easily one of the most important people, probably of all time, like one of the most important inventors of all time. And no, not just for that. He actually did a lot of stuff. I believe he also made this, I think it was like a home console, the Odyssey, what was it, the Odyssey 5000 or something like that. I am so bad at remembering specific things that I never actually, that I never grew up playing or experiencing, if that makes sense. And before anyone asks, you know, oh, whatever that was. Before anyone asks, I think I mentioned this before as well. I grew up with Simon, but not this version. I had Simon 2 as a kid. You know, the double-sided one that I made a video on. Check out my Simon retrospective playlist thing for context. But, Simon. Simon is, and not being hyperbolic or exaggerating, Simon is literally the most important electronic game of all time. Considering that it is literally the first electronic game of all time. It predates everything Dan Klitzner invented. Keep in mind that Bop-It, if I can get it right here. Mine's a 2000, I've explained that before as well. I don't want to, like, you know, waste everyone's time or whatever. I just want to get it so people, at least can see the original design of the original Bop-It. Where is it? Pardon me. Well, it's not the original model, which came out in 96. This is the original aesthetic design. I don't want to go into detail and waste everyone's time with that, because that will... No, I think that was its own video already, so I don't want to waste everyone's time. Pardon me. But considering that Ralph H. Baer invented literally the very first electronic game in history, again, Simon, originally released in 1978, put it this way. If Simon didn't exist, neither would Bop-It, and not even just that, neither would Flip Slide, Tickle Toes, Cross Signals. So many other great games never would have existed if it weren't for Simon's existence. And while I do see this game, I do see this game as very, very important historically, and it is one of my favorites. Kind of for nostalgia, but again, it's not something that I actually grew up playing, if that makes sense. Probably because, you know, I believe in Gunpei Yokoi. That's the inventor of the original Game Boy, by the way. I believe in his belief of lateral thinking of Weber technology, which is basically something that has, to most people, aged, it's definitely aged, but it's something that, is worth respecting. Like, yes, this thing is big and clunky, but I love it as a result. Like, I've always wanted my own original Simon, explained that at the beginning of the video. Like, it's not my favorite version of Simon, but keep in mind, at the exact same time, I will throw around elaborate criticisms and, also respect that this was invented by a man who is literally no longer with us. Yes, like, despite its historical relevance and importance, and not just to me, but other people in the electronic gaming community, I'm pretty sure there are other people who aren't even electronic gamers that grew up with Simon. I'm pretty sure Simon is probably, I'm not sure, maybe might be more recognizable than Bop-It in some circles. But I'm not going to let bias and or potential nostalgia, cloud my criticisms of the game itself. Probably the most easiest thing to point out is the game is very, very big. It's very, very clunky. Again, I'm not insulting it, and I definitely want to insult Ralph H. Baer, considering that man is literally no longer with us. Especially from my understanding, he put all of his hard work into making this game as iconic as possible. Fun fact, Simon is, in its own way, actually, not an original game. It's apparently based on I think it was from 1968? I forget. It's an old Atari arcade cabinet game called Touch Me. Which, yeah, that name would not survive today, but I digress. Ignoring that context, it was literally the exact same concept. It was like this really, really tall arcade cabinet. And if you look at a lot of interviews with Ralph H. Baer, he did cite saying that, he saw the potential in the game, like its execution, but the overall sound quality, and keep in mind it was primitive at the time. Touch Me had a great concept, but really bad execution in terms of sound design. And I have looked up footage and listened to like gameplay of Touch Me. It is really, really hard to listen to. Like, I'm not being mean or anything, it's just, it's like raspy and gravelly. But I can't respect it at the exact same time. Also, interesting fact, the Atari Touch Me arcade cabinet is apparently one of the rarest arcade cabinets of all time. I think even surpassing... Pardon that. Even surpassing specifically the North American release of the arcade game Splatterhouse. Yeah, that's because the Japanese version of that game is more easy to come across, whereas the North American release of Splatterhouse is very, very sought after. Actually, no, wait. Touch Me came out in the 1940s, I think. Pardon me. I have to watch a video again. I will probably include that video either in the comments or description below for context, just in case I forget, so pardon me. But I do know for a fact that Touch Me, probably even at the time, most likely because of its name, did not sell well, which is probably why it's so valuable to this day. But, yeah, back to Simon. I am getting a little bit off topic here. I'm not going to let my bias or nostalgia, which, again, I have no nostalgia because I never grew up with the original Simon, get in the way of valid and elaborate criticisms. Again, the game is very, very large. It does require specific battery, requirements. Don't want to drop it. D batteries and a 9-volt. I forget which one does which, but I know the Ds either power the actual computer, like, Simon is a computer after all, or, the lights, I forget which one powers which. I know it's one or the other. And, yeah, there's that, too. Simon is actually a computer. Not a computer, like, in the traditional sense, like, my laptop's over there. But I'd be remiss if I didn't point out I think it was the original slogan for Simon. Simon's a computer. Simon has a brain. You either do what Simon says or else go down the drain. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. And that actually includes every version of Simon, not just the original. It is a computer, after all, considering that pretty much, I think, every version of Simon is RNG. That stands for Random Number Generator, in which there's no actual fixed pattern. But I'm getting sidetracked again. Once again, pardon me. Yeah, it's telling me even I can openly admit that I'm making no sense at some points. As time goes on, I do respect this game a lot more than most, I'd say. And no, it's not me, like, being preachy, whatever. Like, it's because of how much passion went into this game. And that's actually the exact same way I feel about Bop-It. And I'm not just talking about one iteration of each franchise. No, 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 no. I'm talking about how, considering how recognizable both of those properties are, these are still ongoing at the present. The latest Simon iteration was this kind of hybrid thing called Simon Sorry, Sorry Simon. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's very, very strange, but it's actually kind of fun from what I've heard. As for Bop-It, the latest iteration, canonically, up until, there's apparently 2 iterations in the works right now. Canonically, I believe that is, yeah, that's world's smallest. I would say the card game, but that's a different media format, so it put it there like in the kind of but sort of doesn't count category if you want. Hopefully that makes sense. But either way, back to my initial point, I really keep getting sidetracked. The more the time goes on, the more I will appreciate this game and respect it. Especially considering that this game was invented by a man who is no longer with us. I bring that because I'm not sure if I point this out, but I'm not sure if people actually understood when I said this. That whole Simon retrospective playlist thing, whenever anyone watches that, keep that in mind. That wasn't me just collecting to have every single Simon game because stereotype of collectors just collecting everything because stupid. No, that was literally a passion project out of respect. And keep in mind, all of those, they're historically relevant in their own context. And I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that it's over there in my drawer. The 2003 Super Simon thing, that was kind of obscure, but kind of not really at the exact same time. And no, not just for me, but the rest of the community. That thing took a lot of researching and asking people around to actually find one. I'm not sure if people actually saw that video in the retrospective, but that's the hexagonal Simon game that apparently has 6 buttons as opposed to the traditional 4 or even Super 79's 8-button layout. It's very, very... Yeah, it's strange, but it's very interesting, especially historically. I respect all of those Simon games. The last thing I want to say is, again, like I said, I will respect every single Simon game, more and more and more as time goes on. And for those of you who saw how I literally was at the beginning of the Simon Flash video, yes, even my perspective and opinion on that has kind of shifted. I don't actually talk during those videos, and that's because, I want to focus on the actual gameplay itself. So consider those one of those no commentary type of videos, because I want to make sure that people actually analyze the games themselves as opposed to just me rambling on and on. But I understand that concept could have worked a lot better. And even then, considering the man is no longer with us, I'm going to choose my words as respectfully and as carefully as possible. Much like Dan Klitzner at the present, I can pretty much probably safely assume that Ralph lost creative control over the Simon license, because if you exclude the fact that from Simon Swipe 2014 onwards, which those are Klitzner inventions, once you realize how Klitzner doesn't have any control over what happens to the Bop-It patent, yeah, pretty much all what happens behind the scenes with Hasbro is just as murky as what happens with Nickelodeon. And no, I'm not exaggerating. That is the literal reason why I appreciate all of these games, Simon games, all the Bop-It games back there. I love electronic gaming, and I love collecting these pieces of history because they're pieces of history. I don't hoard. I collect for historical purposes, and that is a literal passionate thing. No, a passionate opinion that I don't see a lot of people actually mention, or even share for that matter. And that's not me, attacking anyone. It's just, it's more or less from experience as opposed to, perspective, if that makes sense. So, final thoughts. As a piece of history, and that's something that I can respect, and something that I can safely recommend, it's that, it's simply that. It's something that I feel a lot of people have seen, but I'm not sure if people share the exact same opinion as me. Again, how much passion and hard work goes into, inventing things in general. Watch my Klitzner interview for stuff like that, which I don't want to elaborate on that because, that'd be kind of annoying, and that's because I've elaborated on that in previous videos, but, like how much passion goes into like inventions in general. Like, it always amazes me. Like, it's mainly based on appeal, recognizability, and how much this thing, like, an invention in general is going to take off with a mainstream audience. And that's something that I will always hold in high regard. So, with that being said, Sir Bop-A-Lot, signing out.